in this lesson, we're going to examine and practice the power of empathy. And that's about putting yourself in your partner's shoes and also getting more empathy, not just for your partner, but also for yourself. So let's delve into it. And in the workbook, if you haven't downloaded it, it's down below. Feel free to look at the page called The Power of Empathy. And it's got a little exercise here that I'd like to share with you. So I'd like to encourage you to think of an incident between you and your partner, something that did not go well, whereby you probably felt some negative emotions, and maybe even years later, still to this day, you remember the sting of it when you remember the incident. You do not forget, and maybe you haven't quite forgiven yet. So here we go. Let's identify at least one incident, and you may have several ones. So you may have to do this exercise a few times, but let's start with one incident. What happened? What was the situation? What were the facts about what happened between you and your partner? Was it something that was said or not said? Was it something that was done or not done? What kind of situation are we talking about here? And I'll give you an example later of from my own life. The second question is, how did you feel then? What were the emotions that were coming to you? And even to this day, when you remember the incident, these emotions are rising back up. They're still present somehow. How different would you have liked your partner to be during the situation? What kind of words, what kind of actions did you actually expect from your partner? And what did you really need then? What is the deep human need that was at the core of the emotions that rose within you? So let me give you an example here. Steve and I, that was 11 years ago or so, we were brand new, a fresh couple, and we were traveling together in India, and it was very hot. It was very hot. One of the things we did is to go to the city of Agra and see the Taj Mahal. So we spent a little bit of time there, and throughout the trip, Steve had mentioned that he would like to be able to go on the other side of the river and see the Taj Mahal from this new perspective, this different vantage point. And it was the last day of our stay there, and I was feeling so hot. I could barely think. And yet I knew that Steve really wanted to do that. And he mentioned it, and I was like, I don't feel so good. I don't want to go. And I was kind of complaining and, being not very good sports in this case. And Steve snapped the very first time in our relationship. He said, well, if you don't want to go, don't go. And I was feeling so distressed, because this was the first little friction in our budding relationship. And so I decided to go. I was like, okay, let's go, But throughout the trip, the little trip that got us on a little boat, a rowing boat, and on the other side of the river, I was like this pretty much. I don't want to be here, I'm not happy. And neither myself nor Steve had a good time, is what we can say. And when we came back from this little expedition, I noticed Steve, he was walking ahead of me, and he took his bandana, and he used the water from his water bottle to make the bandana wet. And he took this bandana and he put it on the case that was protecting his ukulele. He was traveling with this instrument, that wasn't the case. And I felt so bad that he was taking care of this inanimate object when I had mentioned to him that I felt too hot, and he didn't seem to pay attention to me. So the feelings that I experienced was that I felt not seen, not valued. I felt sad, and I also felt disappointed, and I felt inadequate in this moment. And what I needed from him was that he took this bandana and decided to, give it to me or help me cool off. And that's what happened. And 11 years later, I still remember it. And that's okay, because there's more to the story. So, if you want to pause this video and write down the event, discuss the facts, the feelings you had, the needs that were beyond underlying these feelings, and also the behaviors, actions that you were expecting or hoping from your partner, and maybe even for yourself, go ahead and answer these questions. And go back to the video when you're done. Okay, you're back. So the second section of this exercise is to write the story from the vantage point of your partner for the exact same situation. So here you go. Write down your partner's perspective of the event. What would she say about their own experience of the exact same situation? How did he or she felt? How different would your partner have liked for you to be during the incident? And what did he or she really need then? I can try to do that, referring back to the story, the personal story I shared with you. Maybe that Steve was thinking, oh, gosh, Diane, she's complaining, she's all nagging and all negative, and I just want to create this beautiful romantic moment between the two of us. I think this would be a wonderful time for intimacy and connection and deepening our love. The Taj Mahal represents, it's a synonymous for somebody's love towards his wife. And I really want us to see it from this beautiful place across the river. And what else here? So he wanted this to be a romantic moment, most likely. And maybe he felt that, he could have said, or he could have thought, gosh, anyways, I'm doing all of the exercise here. I'm rowing on the boat, and she doesn't need to do anything. She just needs to be transported from A to B, and I'm taking care of everything. And she has this attitude, she's cold and distant, and she's pretty much ruined this romantic moment, and that's annoying, and I don't want to be around her right now. So, how did he feel? Well, maybe he felt disappointed, maybe he felt sad, maybe he felt that his opinion didn't matter. And what would he have expected or hoped that I did? He would have expected that I show more enthusiasm, that I'd be more encouraging, that I'd be more just enthusiastic about the whole let's have a romantic moment before we leave the town. And maybe he needed to feel like we were a unit, that we were experiencing this amazing trip together. So maybe togetherness and unity and were important needs for him. There is more to the story. Eventually, I told Steve, hey, I don't feel good at all. and we went to a guest house, the guest house where we used to stay. And I went to the bathroom and I splashed some water on myself. I looked at myself in the mirror and I saw that I was all red. And I looked like a total lobster and I was going to faint, or this is how I felt at the time. And I came out from the bathroom and I told Sia, I really don't feel good. I need to sit down. And he said, okay, let me get a tuk-tuk. I think we got a tuk-tuk or a cab of some kind. And I'm going to look for a hotel that has a swimming pool where you can freshen up, and we'll swim and cool off. And that's what he did. So he took care of me, and that's what I really wanted. I wanted to be taken care of, and this moment of uneasiness and uncomfort and discomfort and vulnerability. And he rose up to the challenge, not exactly at the moment I was hoping for, but he sure did that. And to this day, I remember this fond memory, and we turned into a bit of a joke between him and I. So the sting of the moment of feeling not enough, not valued, not adequate enough was removed, and there were many occasions during the trip where I got to prove to Steve that I valued him, and I went along with some of the adventures and experiences that he wanted to share with me. So sharing and connecting and feeling like we were a unit were very important to him too. So have a little fun with this exercise. Think about one incident. And if you want to do it again with another incident and a third incident and a fourth incident that feel a little stingy still, go ahead. And I will see you on the next video.